Hello, welcome to this music and movement session based on Shakespeare's classic comedy, A Midsummer Nights Dream. We're doing 5 sessions in all, built around the themes and characters of the play and using music associated with those themes. We'll have mostly seated exercises for you. There will be some standing versions later on in the session, but always with a seated alternative that you can do if you prefer. All you need is some comfortable clothing and a little bit of space to move around. So if you're ready, then I'll be playing the piano for you in my home, and Louisa and Rosa will be leading exercises from their home. And we hope you enjoy it.
Hello everybody, welcome to week 3 of Midsummer Nights Dream. We're going to begin with a bit of a warm-up today, but we're going to do something slightly different for our warm-up. We'll have a little bit of an opportunity for you to improvise and create your own movement based on an idea. Okay, so before we get into that, let's just have a little posture check to begin with. So give yourselves a little bit of a wiggle in your chair and checking you've got a space between your back and the back of the chair so you can support yourself sitting up nice and tall. And feeling those seat bones pressing down through the chair, nice and grounded. Checking our feet are in our parallel position and our feet haven't travelled under our chair or under our legs. We've got that nice 90-degree angle, imagining our knees have got lights on, they're pointing forward, our toes have got lights on which are pointing forward, and our hips have got lights on which are pointing forward, so everything is nicely in line. And then thinking about our upper body, so pulling up through your spine, feeling like we've got that string attaching us to the ceiling. Lovely, feeling that space between each vertebrae. And then feeling that sensation of your shoulder blades pressing down your back. So really letting gravity take your shoulder blades down your back. So there's that opposition of pulling up to the ceiling and pulling down towards the floor in your body. Okay, good. Just give your head a little bit of a shake, making sure you're not holding any tension in your body. Now for our warm-up this week, as I said, there will be an opportunity for you to have a little bit of play with some movement that you'd like to explore, but we're all going to be thinking about the same theme. So, as you know, and we've looked at, we've got this love potion that is given to some of the characters in Midsummer Night's Dream. And we are going to think about that love potion for this warm-up, and we're going to take some different potions actually, so not just our love potion, and it's going to have different effects on our body. So we'll work through some different sensations, and I will let you know what is happening to your body, and you can then respond with movement in that way. But I will do some too, so you can follow along with me if you prefer, but it's an opportunity for you to have a go at doing something as well and creating your own movement with this idea. So we're all going to start by mixing this potion in front of us together as a group. So you're going to imagining you've got a big pot, a big cauldron type thing in front of you, and we're going to give it a good mix around. So really reaching your hands out in front of you, giving it a good mix. And let's go the other way, making sure that's all mixed in together. Good. And let's take a little bit of a sip. So imagining you're getting your spoon and you're taking a little bit of a sip of that potion. Good. And to begin with, this potion is making us really sleepy. So what do you do when you're normally very tired? And just having a bit of a play around with some movements. You can be yawning or stretching or having a bit of a snooze to one side, whatever you want to do. So just finding that in your own time and coming into effects of the potion have started wearing off, so let's come back. And your spoon, having a sip. And this one, you're imagining you've got lots of electricity coming out of your body, so you can respond in whatever way that makes you think. So really sharp movements, angular movements in any direction. You can use your legs, you can use your eyes, whatever you respond to with electricity coming out of your fingertips, your toes, anywhere in your body, just nice sharp movements. And they can be slow, but sharp as well. So wherever you want, or you can be moving very fast through the space, shooting that electricity out. Good. And then start to slow that down. Feeling like that's wearing off a little bit. Good. Okay, so let's take a sip. Trying a little bit off the spoon. Okay, so this time we're feeling as though our limbs have gone to jelly. So moving through the space, feeling that kind of smooth, soft, wobbly movement that you get from jelly. Maybe you can take a couple of steps forward and finding that kind of smooth, floaty feeling through your body. However you imagine it's like when your body starts feeling like jelly, almost as though you're kind of a puppet. So you can imagine someone pulling your limbs up by strings, pulling you up and dropping you back down, moving however you want to. Good. Lovely. And let's come back. Nice, all together when we finish there. And just having a final stir of that pot and really moving through your spine. So as your hands come to the front, pressing your belly button to the back of the chair. And the other way. Lovely. Nice. And we're going to, after this one, gather all of that pollution in together. And you're going to scrunch it all up into a little ball, and you imagine this is a little bit like a firework, because it's all going to poof off in 3. So you're going to explode with your arms, your legs, your mouth, everything, making whatever noise you want after 3. So squeezing in, and 1, 2, 3. Good. And coming back to center. Lovely.
Okay, so we're going to recap our love potion making. So sitting nice and tall, just opening the legs, thinking about the pot, cauldron in front of you. So we reach across on the top shelf on this side, take a jar, something powdery, so we're going to really shake it. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 6. We're going to take the other arm, reach on the top shelf, that thing that we're going to dip, rat tail, whatever it is, dip and up. We'll do sprinkle, 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 and then we did from lower down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grinding 1 and 2, and then we take the jar. So quite specific if you are okay thinking about like you holding it, but we're gonna take it that way, so it's a bit awkward, so that we can really dip the whole thing around. So we're gonna go, good. Then we did 2 big slow stirrings, and then we'll go 4 faster. We're gonna scoop that foam off, push it to the side, and the first round we'll just did little steam coming up, following that with our hand. And then we'll go again, reaching, same thing, across, turn the jar, and we'll go da 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 da. Reach across, and we're gonna dip down and up. And with it, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll go grind and grind. And again, that awkward big jar, empty. And then in the end, we have just sort of time to do 2 or 3 up, up. You will hear the music, and we'll try to hit the bang, the lid on in the final. Okay, let's do that with some music. Getting ready. We're gonna reach. And reaching, dipping, sprinkle, and we'll go and grind, stir, stir, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, foam, and steam comes up again, reach, dip, sprinkle, and up, 1, 2, 3, grind, and now we're gonna go. Great.
Okay, so we're going to do a new seated exercise this week based on Puck, who is our fairy, who administers the love potion. So we've just been making our love potion with Rosa, and now we're going to give it to some of our characters who are in the forest at the moment. So I will talk through what's going on as we go through the exercise, because it can be quite confusing as Puck ends up giving the love potion to the wrong people. So the wrong people end up falling in love with the wrong people. So let me stop talking and carry on with the exercise and talk as we go through it rather than try and explain it now. Sitting up nice and tall, we are beginning being Puck, okay? So this movement that we're about to do for Puck will continue to come back throughout the exercise as he continues to give the love potion to different people. So we're starting with our hands down, and as Puck's a fairy, we are beginning with a little flutter, 2 little flutters of our arms, and once we do that, we're going to run in our feet, okay? So that is our first movement. We've got 1 and 2, good. And Puck's going to pick a flower from the side, so picking the flower, smelling it, scooping it into love potion and dropping down. And then he's going to show that there's magic coming off it. So with the other hand, we're twinkling our fingers above us and circling that around behind us, bringing that hand back to our thighs to show that this is full of magic potion now. And then he's slowly going to pour this potion into Lysander's eyes and lower his hand back down to our thighs, okay? So let's do that all from the beginning. This is our Puck movements. We've got a 1 and 2. And we pick and smell, scoop and drop, showing that magic coming off of the flower and pouring it into Lysander's eyes and coming back down. Okay, so it's quite fast, that bit, when we're picking, smelling, scooping and drop, but then our magic is nice and slow and our pouring is nice and slow as well. Okay, so there's a bit of difference in dynamics there. From that moment, Lysander was asleep when we poured the love potion into his eyes, so he's now going to wake up. So we're going to do a big stretch to show Lysander's waking up, and he's going to spot Helena. And because he's been given this love potion, he falls in love with the first person that he sees. So he's waking up, spots Helena, his hands come to his heart, and we're going to pulse forward, and then throw our hands to Helena to declare our love. So we've got waking up, bringing your hands into your chest, and you kind of hollow through your tummy button here, and press your chest forward, press chest forward, and throw. And this is all to the side, imagining that Helena is in front of us here. And from there we're going to change into Helena. So we're going to bring our hands into our mouth. We're really shocked that Lysander has waked up and said he's in love with us. So we're going, and then you're going to push Lysander away, bring your hands up to your face to shadow you from him. Throw your hands up to the sky as if to say, what's going on? And then you're going to bring your tears are going to fall to the side of you here, okay? So let's do that section again with Lysander waking up and Helena's reaction to his love. So we're stretching, reaching, bringing your hands to your chest. 1 and 2, and throw your heart to Helena. Helena's going, push away, bring hands into face, reaching up and crying to the side, okay? So Helena's upset because she loves Demetrius and she wanted Demetrius to love her back, but now Lysander is in love with her, and so it all gets quite confusing. From there, we go back to our Puck movement. So Puck realises that he's made the wrong man fall in love with Helena, so he's got to administer some love potion to Demetrius. So we're coming back to our 1 and 2, fluttering our arms, and we're going to grab a flower from the other side this time. So using the hand you didn't use before, grabbing a flower, smelling it, scooping that love potion into it and dropping it. Showing the magic coming off of it with the other hand, circling all around behind you, coming back to your thigh. And we'll pour the love potion into Demetrius's eyes and bring your hand back down, okay, to your thigh. So that's all exactly the same, we're just using a different hand to pick our flower. So then Demetrius is going to wake up, okay, and the first person that he sees as well is Helena in the play. So we're going to, with Demetrius, rub our eyes as if we're just waking up. Rub our eyes, and we're kind of twisted to one side again, rubbing our eyes, and then you see Helena and you're going to gesture around your face to say, you're beautiful, okay? So that's sweeping your arm across your face, coming around it, lifting up, and then you're going to reach for her hand and give her a kiss on the hand, so, and coming up. All right, so that's Demetrius's section. And then Helena is going to say, Lysander, Demetrius, look back to the front, shrug your shoulders, you don't know what's going on, and then your arms are going to come down, lift all the way up, keep going behind, and you're going to end up with your head in your hands, okay? So let's do that from Demetrius waking up. So he's rubbing his eyes and saying, you're beautiful, and taking Helena's hand, giving her a kiss, and Helena's saying, Lysander, Demetrius, looking back, shoulders shrug, arms lifting up, and head into hands to finish. Okay, so that's quite a lot of movement. We will only do that section today, and we will add on to it next week because we've got another half of the exercise to go where lots more confusion happens. Can you believe it? So we will try what we've done today with some music a couple of times through, just so we get it in our body, and add on to it next week, okay? So finding your feet, making sure your feet are in parallel position, finding that lovely tall spine, remembering we're beginning with our puck movements to start with, okay? So let's just try it, here we go. Flapping your arms, and reaching, smell, scoop, drop. Watching that magic come off of the flower, and pouring into Lysander's eyes. Lysander waking up, and bringing his hands to his chest, beat, and throw. Helena being shocked, pushing him away, throw your arms up, and crying down, and puck. Good, other hand reaching flower, smell, scoop, drop. Watching that magic come off and pouring into Demetrius's eyes. Demetrius waking up, saying you're beautiful, taking Helena's hand, giving it a kiss. Helena says Lysander, Demetrius, and shrug, lift up, head to hands. Okay, so let's just go for that once more through today. So it's in our bodies, ready for us to add on next week. So we'll just go straight away, Sitting up nice and tall, hands down by our side. Here we are. Here we go with park. Floating your arms. And reach, smell, scoop, drop. Watching the magic come off of that flower. And pull. Pull. Good. Lysander waking up. Hands to heart and beat. Beat and throw. Helena shocked. Pushing him away. In and throw. Crying down. Park again. Floating your arms. Running your feet. Reaching the other hand. Smell. Scoop. Drop. Magic coming off of that flower and pouring into Demetrius's eyes. And Demetrius waking up, saying you're beautiful, taking Helena's hand, giving it a kiss. Helena says, Lysander, Demetrius, and shrug, lift up, hands to head. Very good, okay. We will add on next week, but leave it there for now.
There are 3 storylines in Midsummer Night's Dream, 3 different worlds which interact very cleverly and a bit bizarrely. Last time we looked at the love tangle between 2 couples, Helena and Demetrius, and Hermia and Lysander. Nobody is in love with the right person among those couples, and that's part of the fun of the play. Now we're going to look at the second storyline, which focuses on the world of the fairies, this other world, which is ruled over by King and Queen, Oberon and Titania, whose argument gives rise to a lot of the mischief and craziness that ensues in the play. So Shakespeare introduces us to this world with a fairy song, which is actually sung in the play by one of Titania's train. Sometimes Puck, the mischievous sprite who serves Oberon, gets to sing this song in some productions. So we're going to do the first few lines of this song. We'll give a gesture to each line, and then we're going to try out singing it to a famous tune. We're going to try singing it to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which I hope everybody knows. We have to tweak it a little bit just by repeating the first 2 lines of music, otherwise it fits fairly well. So let's start by going through the lines. I will say a line and give it a gesture, and you say it back to me, and then we'll sing through it and see how that goes. Okay, so the first line is, over hill, over dale. And the gesture we'll give to that is over hill, over dale. So let's say that and do that gesture together. Ready? And over hill, over dale. Excellent. And now the next line is thorough bush, thorough briar. Thorough being the old way of saying through. Thorough bush, thorough briar. And we'll give this gesture as though we're forcing our way through the undergrowth. So, ready, and thorough bush, thorough briar. Excellent. Third line is over park, over pale. Pale being part of a fence. So our gesture for this could be the broad expanse of a park, and then something solid to suggest a fence. So let's say over park, over pale, ready, and over park, over pale. And just to finish that section, thorough flood, thorough fire. And your turn, thorough flood, thorough fire. And we'll do a swimming sort of gesture for the flood, thorough flood, and suggest crackling flames for thorough fire. Thorough fire. Let's just go through all those and then we'll put on the last couplet. So we start with over hill, over dale. Ready? Over hill, over dale, thorough bush, thorough briar, thorough bush, thorough briar, over park, over pale, over park, over pale, thorough flood, thorough fire, thorough flood, thorough fire. Excellent. And now for the last few lines, and they are, I do wander everywhere. So let's do a looking around at all the places the fairy wanders. I do wander everywhere, and I do wander everywhere. Swifter than the moon's sphere. So we'll have a little bit of fairy wing action going for swifter, swifter than the moon's sphere, to suggest the moon. Let's do that line. And swifter than the moon's sphere. And finally, the last couplet is, I do serve the fairy queen. And so we'll do a little crown movement for the queen. I do serve the fairy queen, and I do serve the fairy queen. And the last line, to dew her orbs upon the green. And what that seems to mean is placing the dew on the flowers. So let's do that action to place those little balls of dew upon the petals of the flowers, to dew her orbs upon the green, and to dew her orbs upon the green. Excellent. Now we're going to try and sing through that. So follow me and we'll just see how we go. Let's just go at it and sing out. And if you don't want to follow my gestures, that's fine. Do your own dance. I'm sure it will be beautiful. So we're going to start with Over Hill, Over Dale, to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay, here we go. And over hill, over dale, thorough bush, thorough briar, thorough bush, thorough briar. Over park, over pale, over park, over pale, thorough flood, thorough fire, thorough flood, thorough fire. I do wander everywhere. I do wander everywhere, swifter than the moon's sphere, swifter than the moon's sphere. And I serve the fairy queen, and I serve the fairy queen, to dew her orbs upon the green, to dew her orbs upon the green. Lovely fairy singing, thank you very much.
Okay, so before we come up to standing, we're just going to do a quick free foot. I'm just going to have my chair slightly sideways to you so you can hopefully see my feet a little better for what I'm doing this week in our free foot. And it's loosely based on donkey, because as you know, one of the labourers in Midsummer Nights Dream, who's rehearsing for the play in the woods, gets turned into a donkey by one of the fairies, and the queen of the fairies, Titania, ends up falling in love with him as a donkey. So he's bottom and he turns into a donkey, and we'll be looking at Titania and his love affair in the plie. But for now, we'll just do a little bit of a free foot with a little bit of a donkey twist on it. So sitting up nice and tall, making sure your feet are in parallel position, so we've got a good stable stance to begin with. Feeling your shoulders dropping down your back, they're nice and heavy, and your spine pulling up to the ceiling nice and tall. Okay, let's begin. Right, we're starting with 8 quick walks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Polish up, polish up. Other leg leading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Polish up, polish up. Now we're going to take a brush and drop. The brush brushing, 1, drop, brush, drop, scooping back, other leg, again brushing forwards, drop, forwards, drop, scooping back, and scoop, heels turn out and in, toes out, heels out, in, toes out, back to beginning with our walks, 5, 6, 7, 8, harder shut, other leg leading, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, harder shut, ready for our brushes, brush, brush, drop, and scoop, again we've got brush, drop, and scoop, up, ready for our claps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, heels, 5, 6, 7, 8, clap, and toes, ready to go for waiting, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, toes, and 2, once. I hope you all did better than me at the end there. Just a little bit of fun, so do not worry if that went completely whoopsie daisy everywhere all over the place like me at the end. It's just a little bit of fun before we come up to standing today. So for those of you that would like to come up to standing now, we will do that. But for those of you that would prefer to stay seated for the remainder of the class, that's completely fine. Just stay where you are. There will be seated variations, as always, of the exercises we're doing standing. So please feel free to remain seated if you prefer. If you'd like to come up to standing, bringing your heels under your legs slightly, using your hands on your thighs to rock your body forwards over, pressing up, and finding a nice standing position, and like as always having a little bit of a pedal through your feet just to feel nice and stable, and we will come towards the back of the chair for our plie today.
So we're going to do a plie exercise which is based on Titania and Bottom, the donkey who's been turned into a donkey, and this is a sort of slightly challenging because the music is interesting. Nia's done a little mashup for us. So we're going to think about that donkey part and then the fairy part here. So we're going to start in a parallel behind the chair, and there will be a seated version as well, so you can follow that if you don't want to stay standing. So finding that nice posture here again, we're going to start being the fairy. So Titania, we're going to take our magic wand and we're going to start with 4 little taps. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to take a plie, really slow, nice plie here, and then we're going to do a little circle spreading our fairy dust in front of us. Placing the hands back to the chair, we're going to take a rise again, finding that center with control lowering down, and then we're just going to do 1 tap. So you can do your magic pointy finger to do a little spell with that hand there. Then we're going to change into donkey gear. So we're just going to do a quick little hand like you would do your donkey ear and down. So it's going to go up and down. And then the donkey is going to do a plie as well. So we're going to go plie, slightly faster tempo, and then we're going to do a little donkey brush with the foot. So it's like you're going to shift your weight and think about scooping your foot up and down. And if that's, so from this side it would look like that. And if that's not okay, so you can just try to maybe tap your toes and back. So do a little toe tap and back. So we're going to go plie and sweep, but without leaning forward, so keeping that core engaged here. And we're going to do that again and change the other side, or tap and in. So we do our 4 fairy magic taps. We'll take a plie, being the fairy first. We'll do fairy dust. We're going to rise, and we're going to do a little pling. Then we're going to change into donkey gear here. One plie and scoop and plie and sweep the foot up, down. Changing back to our fairy, we're going to go one plie just like we did, fairy dust, but now we're going to do 4 taps. So we're going to tap to the side, tap to the side, tap to the side, tap to the side. Then we're going to turn back into being the donkey. So we're going to think about like you would show your tail. So we're going to do a little swing with the arm, think about that as your tail, and then we're going to swing back and show our ear here. We're going to change the hand back to the chair. We're going to swing, showing our tail, and then showing our ear, and hands to the chair. Then the donkey plies here are going to be quite sharp, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and up, 2, again 1, 2 and up, 2. So then we're going to take a little balance here. So if you're okay, we're going to do like a tandem step. So we're going to, like you would be on a tightrope, we're going to step 1 foot in front, but please do hold your chair here if you like. If that's too much, too wobbly, then just having a little gap between your feet. But if you're okay, we're going to step in front, and we're going to first have a donkey balance. So if you're okay, you may want to bring one hand as an ear and maybe another as an ear. So this is quite slow, we'll have time here. Take the hands down, step back, and then we're going to change. We're going to come into a similar sort of tandem balance. You're trying to keep your weight evenly on your feet. And this time we're going to be a fairy, so you can do a little bit of sort of fairy wings flapping here with that second balance. Or keep your hands on the chair and just try to sort of test your balance here, because it is surprisingly hard. We're going to come back into the parallel, into our donkey plie. So we're going to go again 1 and 2 and up, and again 2, stages down and 2, up. And then we'll turn back into our fairy. So like we did in the beginning, slow plie, and then we're going to do our fairy dust. We're going to rise up, lower down, and we're going to do our little magic finger making a spell or something. Then we're going to go third plie this time. We're going to show how much we love the donkey from our heart reaching out. And then that's going to turn back into the donkey. So we're going to do back the sweep your tail and your ear. Change, we're going to sweep tail to ear. And then we're going to finish. You can take your hands back to the chair, quite specific. So we're going to do a little scoop and then tap the ball of the foot and scoop and tap. So I'll show this way. So we're going to go do a little scoop and tap and scoop and tap. Trying to do that. Or step. You can also do a little scoop and step. But we'll try to do the scoop and bow of the foot to finish. That is quite a lot. Let's try that with some crazy music that Nia's created for us. It's fun. Standing behind the chair, we'll do our 4 styles and 2 plie. Fairy dust, rising up, control down, and spell. Gonna turn into donkey, plie, and scoop, plie, and kick, back into fairy. do our forest exercise standing, but simplify it a little bit, so it's like a march exercise. So we'll think about again Hermia, Lysander, Helena and Demetrius all going into the woods. So we start with sort of 4 slower, sneaky marches. And there will be a seated version as well, or if you want to stand and hold your chair, so you can also do that, and then do the arms, one arm, or keep your feet on the your hands on the chair. So we'll start with 4 sneak, march, look around. Then so basically your legs are just gonna keep marching, and we'll do some wider marches, but the rhythm just stays. So if you just think about keep the legs going with that beat, you should be fine. So we're gonna go 4 marches, and here we're gonna first go look one side, 4, and then we're gonna wave, 3, 4. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna take this into the arabesque arms. So same like we did with the seated version. We're just gonna keep the arms going, 3, 4. Keep your legs going as you pull. Then we go second side, look, 3, 4, wave, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna go arabesque, 3, 4. So the legs just keep going. Okay, so that's the first part. Then we're gonna come into that signature sequence movement, but we'll simplify that obviously for standing. So the legs are just gonna keep going. So we do that first part again. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave, and take it into your arabesque arms and pull. Second side, we look, 2, 3, 4, and wave, and the legs are just gonna keep going, pull. We're gonna take that into a wider march if you like. So if it's too much, just keep your feet going. If you're okay, we're gonna open, in, open, in. Keep that, we're gonna go 1, and second one, we're gonna go da, da. Let's do that again. This time open, as you close. We're gonna add that, tap and tap once more. Keep it going, tap, tap, and then the legs are just gonna keep going. So we're gonna do 1, open, in, open, tap. We're gonna shake the mud from our hands this time. Again, we're gonna go open, in, open, tap. Keep the legs going, we're gonna listen. So you just keep the march going through out. And we're gonna go 4 hands in front, and we're gonna look back into your open, in. This time tap to go second side, and we'll look. The legs keep going open, in, open, tap. So that they just keep going. And if you don't want to go the open, in, we'll just keep going throughout. So it's only the arms that are gonna do something. As we come into that, so we're gonna do 4, and we're gonna look, and then we're gonna do our signature in between. So to the second side. After that, so then as you done last time, going open, in, open, clap. Then we're gonna just take that into a sort of shift of your weight. We're gonna try and stay low. So first we're gonna swing low, 4. Then we're gonna take that up, really work through your legs. We're gonna go low. So almost gonna think about that. You're gonna go through the vegetation. Sometimes you're gonna reach high, and sometimes you're gonna go low. So you're gonna go 4, low. We just keep going this, so you can get into like a nice sort of swingy movement, but really work through your legs. So we're gonna down, tap, to build the strength in our legs as well. And then we'll just finish with that. Oh, let's do that with some music. Go with the sneak. 2, 3. Marching, looking over. Wave into your arabesque arms and pull Lysander up. Very good. Gets the heart rate up, that one. Well done. So if you'd like to come back down into your seat, just take your time to walk around. And again, we'll go down slowly using your legs, sitting down, and then finding a good posture here, ready for some cool down.
Okay, so once you're back down to seated, we will just have a little bit of a cool down all together today. And as we did in our warm-up, we're going to think about that idea of creating our own movement again based on taking these different potions and the different effects that they have on us. Now for the cool down, instead of them having an effect on our body, these potions are going to have an effect on the environment around us, okay? So we're going to have a little bit of a mix of our potions, but just before we do, finding that nice tall spine, feeling nice and strong through your seated position and making sure your feet are in parallel. Good. And we are going to take our cauldron and give our potions a good stir again as we begin to cool down today. Lovely. Nice. And around the other way. Good. Very nice. One more stir. Good. And this time we're going to take a handful of potion and you're going to throw it up into the air. And now suddenly you're feeling as though gravity is pulling you even more to the ground than normal. So it's getting stronger. So you can try and lift your foot and it pulls back down. And again, whatever you want to do, imagining that gravity is really much stronger than normal, feeling heavy through your body. Maybe reaching out to the side and you're pulled down over your legs. Very good. Okay, once you've had a little bit of a play with that, let's roll back up through the spine. And we're bringing some of that potion into our hands and we're going to throw it up. And now this time, it's as though suddenly everything around us is like honey. So you're really trying to press through the air, but there's much more resistance than normal. So maybe you can feel as though you're in a big marshmallow or you're moving through treacle. But imagine you're trying to get somewhere and there's all of this resistance against you. Maybe try and push it out the way. Good. And maybe that treacle or honey or whatever it is starting to really weigh down on you, so you can come into a little ball and then expand against that feeling. So let's do that as a group, imagining whatever it is that we're moving through is starting to really become heavy on us, so we come into a ball and then we're pressing out against that, whatever it is, treacle or marshmallow or honey. Good. And when you're ready, starting to feel the effects of that wearing off, coming back to center. And let's get a lot of potion in our hands this time. We're really going to throw it up into the air. And this time, this is having an effect on the temperature in the room, and all of a sudden, it's getting very cold. So how would you move if it starts getting cold? If you start rubbing your hands together, getting nice and small, channeling your teeth maybe, trying to keep it really nice and long, and maybe putting on some big socks, some big jumpers, and big scarves around you, whatever you want. But then we're starting to get very hot in the room all of a sudden. So maybe you're unwrapping those layers that you just put on. Maybe you've put some gloves on some shelter under a tree canopy, or do you normally quite enjoy the heat and like to relax in the sunshine, maybe a bit of a sunbather, feeling that sunshine on your skin, warming everything up? And let's all come together and have a brush across our chest, feeling the sunshine, pressing that heat onto our skin. 1, 2, 3, brush. And let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, brush. And last time, 1, 2, 3, brush. Good. And the effects are starting to wear off. For the last time now. Good. Let's just take a roll through our shoulders together. Nice. Taking that nice and slowly, unwinding and then lifting up through our arms, pressing the air away, lifting up. Let's do that twice, lifting up. And once more, lifting up. And floating your arms down onto your thighs. And let's just close our eyes today and let all of that exploring in our own movement just settle. So just really relaxing, letting go of any tension, maybe in your jaw, in your arms, in your neck, just really feeling like you're relaxed now. We've come to the end of the class. And when you're ready and you're feeling like that's all settled down, just open your eyes. Good. Well done, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming along to the session. This week we will be back with more Midsummer Nights Dream next week, so we hope to see you there.